When I think of a Ponzi scheme, and I think you've probably heard the term Ponzi scheme tossed around in the news, first of all, it makes me very frustrated for anybody who falls victim to a Ponzi scheme. But exactly what is a Ponzi scheme? How could you as a listener spot one before it's too late? Today, we're first going to break down the red flags, the risks, and then we're going to give a real story behind one of the most notorious forms of financial fraud and give you a specific example of a Georgia politician who has just been accused of a $140 million Ponzi scheme. And I would say that that is exactly what happened because this Georgia politician has already apologized for it. So let's jump in and take a quick look at what a Ponzi scheme is. A Ponzi scheme is a fraudulent investment operation that pays returns to investors from new capital paid in by new investors rather than from profit earned through legitimate business activities. We talked about a scheme where a New York investor who was running a scam in Atlanta, scammed people out of $54 million or something last week. It's really amazing, but it's a type of investment fraud where early investors are paid again with the money from later investors, creating that illusion of success. So number one, they attract investors by luring investors with promises of high returns and quick profits, higher than normal. The operator pays returns to early investors, not from profits again, but from the money brought in by the new investors. The initial success generates positive word of mouth and attracts more investors. Maybe, hey, you're doubling your money every few months. If it's too good to be true, it's probably true. Eventually, though, the scheme will collapse when the number of new investors slows down and there isn't enough money coming in to pay the promised returns, or when the operator can no longer manage the complexity. And then there's losses for everyone. Anybody who invests in it, especially the ones in the first place who continue to invest, they're the ones who lose. The ones who invested later in the process, those are the ones who are most likely to lose everything. But in many cases, people who invest early continue to invest. To identify a Ponzi scheme before it's too late, be wary of investments promising unsubstantially high returns with little or no risk, especially if they are consistently high regardless of market conditions. Red flags also include unregistered investments, complex or secretive strategies, meaning they can't tell you, difficulty withdrawing funds, and pressure to recruit new investors. And we have a Georgia politician who has been accused of running a $140 million Ponzi scheme. Brant Frost IV said in a statement issued through his lawyers that he would like to apologize personally to those he has harmed, but he's under restrictions from doing so. It was a $140 million Ponzi scheme around First Liberty. You might have heard that information. I believe First Liberty is south of Georgia, maybe Noonan, Georgia. It is a sad, sad situation.